Valley Channel will be an interesting one. The Ridgeline Riverhawks play host to the American Fork Caveman. Ridgeline coming off an 8-13 season where they saw a 9-game losing streak last year and missed the playoffs after winning the state title the year before. This year they're 5-5 coming in and led by Landon Brenchley. He's a Swiss Army knife. He does a little bit of everything. 24 points a game, 8 rebounds a game, and a 4A best 2.5 steals per game. But they're going to have their hands full with American Fork. The Cavemen are 12-0 and one of the top teams in the entire state. They're a 6A team out of Region 4, but the Riverhawks may have caught a break. Isaac Johnson, a 4-star commit to Oregon, hurt his foot in their last game at a tournament down in Arizona. He may not play tonight, so we'll see. It'll be a game time decision. It's the Riverhawks and the Cavemen coming up next.
At Ultra, we don't believe in limits, or telling runners they can't, or it's not possible. That's why we dared to make shoes with a foot-shaped toe box, and gave runners zero-drop technology so that runners could say goodbye to limits too. Ultra invites you to experience the difference everyone's talking about with zero risk. Love your run or send them back within 30 days, no questions asked. Get your pair today at ultrarunning.com. Ultra, zero limits.
Coach, when I think about the ups and downs of coaching high school sports, I think about you a lot because you had that championship season. It was like a storybook season, and then last year was a little tougher because kids graduate and everything. This year you're kind of making that climb back. You're at 500, but you seem to be trending in the right direction. What do you think as we come to the end of non-region play?
Consistency matters. We've got to be a little bit more consistent. Turnovers are still a bit costly. Rebounds, and after Christmas break, we're just trying to work on cleaning all that stuff up so we're ready for region.
So we've been saying the name Brenchley for a long time up here. I guess this is the last year doing that, but Landon came out of Big Brother's shadow. He's putting up a lot of good numbers for you. What does he mean to this team, and what is different about him than his brother that he brings to the team?
Landon does have a different element to his game than what Jackson did. Jackson was fortunate to have that height with him. Landon's not short, but he sees the game a little bit differently. We definitely run through a lot with him, but the more guys we can get involved, the easier it is for all of us to function well. And we're pretty unselfish this year, and it's fun to have those guys contribute.
Yeah. Well, talk about that a little bit more then. Who are you seeing contribute early on that you're pleased to see that, and guys that you're hoping to see that from going forward?
Well, Salison helps stretch it out a little bit for us. Foster's great at getting to the rim. He gets a lot of finishes that way, and Junior's been able to get some shots down, and the rest of our guys have really just kind of been hit and miss a little bit. So if we can get them going full bore and being a little bit more consistent, it might be a little bit more formidable as we go into region.
And real quick, you end up non-region play with about as good a team as there is out there, American Fork. What do you see from them? What do you need to do to get a win or at least hang with them?
A lot of things have to go our way. We definitely got to hit some shots. We got to keep them off the glass. They're a very strong, physical team. We're going to have our hands full if we can figure out a way to at least try and keep it competitive the second half. Who knows? But they're a great quality team and a good test for us as we get into region.
All right. Good luck tonight. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Say the word base. Say the word mess.
Tell me something and I'd say, huh? And then they tell me again and I'd say, huh? And they'd say, never mind. And so I called and made an appointment.
Say the word pass.
With a PhD, and I know what it takes to get a PhD.
Say the word red.
It was like night and day. And then the hearing test was the thing that I thought, wow, he really knows what he's doing. I would recommend Dr. Daines to everybody.
Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital. Together, we're greater. Cache Valley Electric, a tradition of excellence since 1915. New Smile Dental, experience dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Bring back what you have been missing. Lynn's Audio and Video, Cache Valley Specialists. Mountain Valley Heating and Air Conditioning. Give us a call. You'll be glad you did. Herms Inn, last chance for great food. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Planet Fitness of Logan, no intimidation and only $10 a month. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 25 years.
Well, hello everyone and welcome to Providence, Utah, site of Ridgeline High School, the Riverhawks, playing host tonight to American Fork, the Cavemen, out of Region 4, 6A, one of the state's best teams. Ridgeline comes in at 5-5, American Fork comes in at 12-0, but the Cavemen missing a big piece of their team tonight. 6'11". Guard, forward, guard, 6'11". Yeah, it's a positionless game these days. Isaac Johnson, he's a four-star prospect. He's committed to go to Oregon. Shows the Ducks over BYU, Utah, and Gonzaga. He's out tonight. He's got in the tournament that they just came back from in Arizona, he's wearing a boot, and I haven't been given an official word. Unofficial said, well, he's broken a bone in his leg. You can see him there on the screen, dribbling the basketball. That's him. And you can see he's getting around okay, but he's wearing a boot, and they're going to keep him out at least for tonight, if not a little bit longer. And so Ridgeline catches a break. Ridgeline has a pretty darn good player themselves in the form of Landon Brenchley. Brenchley's number 4 in 4A in steals. He's number 1 in assists. He's number 2 in scoring and number 3 in rebounding. He does a little bit of everything for this team, and he's a hard-nosed defender. But they will be missing Junior DeMooney. Junior DeMooney off at some of these all-star football camps, playing some of those all-poly league type football games, and you know, that's a big deal for kids that are looking at maybe playing on the next level and showcasing themselves, and so they will miss him tonight. He brings 6 points, 3 assists, and a couple of steals to the table, and 6 feet, and he's a rugged defender everywhere out on the court. For American Fork, they've got a couple other guys that can pick up the slack. Isaac Johnson, who's out tonight, averaging 20.5 points and 8 rebounds per game. So some slack will have to be picked up by Trey Stewart, Hayden Franson, and Tanner Cuff, most likely. Trey Stewart, 12.5 a game, Franson 11, and Tanner Cuff 14 points per game, all seniors. And this is a team that is outstanding with Isaac Johnson, and I have a feeling they're going to be pretty darn good even without him. We're getting ready for the national anthem here at Ridgeline, so we're going to step aside while they perform the national anthem, and we'll be back with the starting lineups and the tip-off. You're watching Ridgeline hosting American Fork on the Game of the Week.
My older brother thought he could do a 360. Yeah, he got maybe a 60 before his face plant. We went to the emergency room and Dad told us to behave because we probably would have to wait a long time. But they brought us right back here, and the doctor used x-ray vision to see what the big dummy wrote.
ER specialists at every one of our 8-star hospitals are dedicated to seeing you fast. Mountain Star Hospitals. Look for the star.
Gonna post this on Instagram.
rendition of the national anthem by a couple of students here at Ridgeline as we get set for Ridgeline and American Fork, the final non-region game for Ridgeline. American Fork will be playing Harriman next week before their region play kicks in. Hey, a big ball game before this one. The girls varsity team was playing here on this floor before this game, and they beat previously unbeaten Westlake 47-38. Westlake 11-0 coming into this game. They made the semifinals in 6A last year and lost to eventual champion Fremont by 6 points. Ridgeline 10-2 and a big win for the Ridgeline girls.
Senior Trey Stewart. Number 4, freshman Noah Boyani.
Cole Jensen will get a start along with Hayden Franson, Trey Stewart. Hayden Franson, as we mentioned. Noah Moyaki will slide into that lineup as they turn out the lights for the Riverhawks intros.
All right, starting tonight for Ridgeline High School Riverhawks. At guard, number 2, 6'2" junior Jackson Baker.
Jackson Baker will get the start at 6'2", a junior.
11, junior, 6'3", Jacob Salveson.
Jacob Salveson, number 11.
Senior, number 13,
Caleb Bookmiller, the senior.
6'4" senior,
Landon Brenchley. Another senior in that starting lineup. And Foster Johnson, the other senior. We talked about Brenchley. Foster Johnson, his running mate, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He had 31 points for his season high versus Layton earlier this season. American Fork, Stewart goes 6'3", Franson goes 6'6". Tanner Cuff, I called him Jensen earlier, that's Tanner Cuff at number 1. And Tanner Cuff goes about 6'6". McKay Smith at 6'3". American Fork's going to have the size advantage over the Riverhawks. The girls pulled off the upset, can the boys? Down into Cuff with a little jump hook. He gets his own rebound after the miss. Franson can't get it to go, and Johnson with the rebound. Johnson gives it off to Brenchley. Back to Johnson, out of bounds off of American Fork. And we'll stay here, and Johnson will trigger in. Got that knee wrapped. Brenchley off the inbounds play, gets into the paint, too hard. Rebound finally controlled by American Fork. Smith all the way in, stop, pop, miss. Ends up with his own board. Moyaki fires for 3. He's short. Johnson the other way, all the way to the rim and one. No, they're going to say before the shot. Moyaki, the 6'3" freshman, with the foul. It's taken away, turnover by Ridgeline. Franson leans in and scores. Hayden Franson off the turnover, and American Fork scores first. 2-0. We played 1 minute here in Providence. Baker holds, finally finds Johnson. Salveson back to Brenchley. Brenchley probing, gets inside, puts it up off the glass softly for a bucket. 23.8 per game, second in 4A, right behind Mason Falslev. And a foul called on Foster Johnson. One foul for each team. Inbounds lob. Won't go. Trey Stewart climbing the ladder. Had to go over the top of one of the Riverhawks and it wouldn't go. Johnson pulls up and misses. Rebounded by Smith. Moeaki looks into Franson. He's got it. Kicks out to Cuff. The three. Off to the left from the front of the iron. Here comes Brenchley. Brenchley around his man. Lay it up and in from the left side. Trey Stewart had pretty good position, but Brenchley just went around him and scored easy. Cuff up and under. Ties it up at 4. Brenchley's got all 4 Ridgeline points. He gets into the key. Can't get to 6, at least not this trip, as Franson rips down the board. Ahead to Smith. Cuff around the waiting Ridgeline defender, Jacob Salveson, and he misses. And quickly back the other way. 5:15 to play in the first quarter. We're tied at 4 at Ridgeline. Bookmiller inside. Rolling in and scoring is Jackson Baker.
Basket number 2, Jackson Baker.
6-4 Ridgeline. Just under 5 minutes to play in the first period. In a back and forth game. At least the teams have been getting back and forth. Not in a good shooting percentage. As Cuff has 4 points and ties the game at 6. Moeaki on Brenchley. Oh, and that's a turnover. Second one of the game for Ridgeline. Jackson Baker waited for it, didn't come get it. It's thrown out of bounds. Coach Bookmiller says, hey, you got to move. Chance for American Fork to take the lead. They kick it back out to Smith. Smith to Cuff at the elbow. Across to Stewart. Now Franson with a 3. Won't go. Rebounded in the corner by Johnson. Johnson underneath. Ball's free. Salveson couldn't handle it. Johnson picked it up, and the foul is going to go against Moeaki.
Second team foul.
Now I've got that as the second one for Moeaki, but they called the first one on Trey Stewart. It was 3 and not 4. Foster Johnson to the line. First free throw for either team. And he tickles the twines, as the old basketball saying goes. Johnson hits both, and Ridgeline back out front 8-6. Midway through the first period here at Ridgeline. Ridgeline 5-5, American Fork 12-0. American Fork 6A. As Cuff with a nice baseline spin.
Basket Tanner Cuff.
Cuff has 6. He averages 14 a game. He's their second leading scorer, behind Isaac Johnson, who's out tonight with an injury if you're just joining us. Another foul on American Fork. Moeaki picks up his second. Benson Brown into the ball game for American Fork. Down low, looking for help as Salveson turns in with the left hand and Cuff with a rebound. Franson falling down, puts it up on the glass and scores. Hayden Franson has 4, and it's 10-8 American Fork. 3:15 to play in the first. Brenchley scored the first 4 points for Ridgeline. He's been quiet since. Now he calls for the ball. He gets inside the zone. Scoop it up and in. Brenchley with 6. We're tied at 10. 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Stewart cross-court pass to Brown. In the corner to Cuff, who's having a nice first period. Back out front to Stewart. He goes to work on Baker. Way up high and lays it in. Stewart showing athleticism with his first bucket. Cavemen back out in front by 2. 2.5 to play in the period. There's another turnover. Third for Ridgeline. Stewart gets inside and throws down. Dang, Trey. Stewart in traffic. Made sure to finish. And American Fork leads 14-10, timeout on the floor. Stewart's got 4, Franson with 4, Cuff with 6. Stewart has the last 4 for American Fork. Brenchley leads Ridgeline with 6, Johnson's got 2, and Baker has 2. Junior DeMooney, if you're just joining us, not playing tonight for Ridgeline. He's out of town. And American Fork missing 4-star prospect Isaac Johnson. He's on the bench with an injury. And American Fork sitting in a zone. Ridgeline yet to attempt a 3-pointer. So Johnson gives it up to Baker. Now back to Brenchley. Inside they go to Bookmiller. Knocked down and turned over. 4th turnover. The zone causing some trouble. Here's the lob, and Stewart puts down another one. This one softly to bed. Stewart's an athlete, 6'3", and it's a 6-point American Fork lead. Salveson looking for help. Now he finds Brenchley. Brenchley fires a 3, rims around and out. Rebounded by Bookmiller. He had it swatted away, and Brenchley comes up with it. Underneath Bookmiller again. In traffic, and he finishes. Bookmiller with his first bucket. Cuff picks up the foul. 4 team fouls on American Fork, and Bookmiller has a 3-point play, and he cuts the American Fork lead in half, 16-13. With 1:24 to play in the first period, Cavemen on top. Smith hands off to Stewart. He scored the last 6 points for American Fork. Now they're going to go to work one-on-one again. This time they tie him up. It's Brenchley as he blew past the initial defender, and Brenchley just had to reach in and tie him up, make sure he didn't score. And he's going to go to the line. 12.5 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists per game for Stewart as he misses the free throw short. Second free throw up and no good. And they may want to foul Stewart if he gets a run to the basket. There's a kick. American Fork yet to turn the ball over. Ridgeline has 4 turnovers. And the Cavemen have capitalized on most of them. 1 minute to play in the period. 16-13 AF. Brenchley splits the double. Down low to Johnson. Johnson patiently waits and puts it in. Foster Johnson now with 4 points. And it's a 1-point American Fork lead. In they go to Franson, and they're going to call a hold on Jackson Baker. For Baker, his first 3rd team foul on Ridgeline. Quick pop by Franson on the inbounds pass. Franson's got 6. 3 players have all the points for American Fork. It's 18-15, American Fork, 23 seconds to play in the first period. Chase Hall in the ball game now, number 15. Jacob Salveson with the ball, has it stripped away. 5th turnover for Ridgeline. Stewart behind the back and he walked. There's the first turnover for American Fork. Foster Johnson flashed in front of him. Stewart tried to take it behind his back, took too many steps before he was able to finish the move. Bridger Flinders into the ball game for American Fork. 2.9 seconds left in the first period. 3-pointer on the way from Brenchley, too hard. And we go to the second, 18-15. An eventful first period, American Fork with the lead. To the second quarter in Providence at Ridgeline, and the Riverhawks trail 18-15 to American Fork. Eric Olson along with you here tonight as we cover our final non-region game. I keep wanting to call them preseason. It's not preseason, it's just non-region. Final non-region game for Ridgeline. Next week, they play Skyview. Next Friday night, does Ridgeline. Start the region season. We start the region season next week. We're at Logan. It's Mountain Crest visits. Mountain Crest at Logan. Brenchley on a little roll into Johnson. He's going to the line with a chance to tie it up. And that foul is going to be on Bridger Flinders, who just checked into the game. Johnson's got 6, looking for 7. It'd make him the leading scorer on the night. Doesn't get it. A lot of players on the floor with 6 points. 3 cavemen with 6 points, including the man firing up a 3. Cuff misses. And it's rebounded out of there, pushed up the floor by Chase Hall. All 5'9" of it. Johnson's going to hand off to Salveson. He gives it back to Bookmiller. They start again. Splitting the double team and turning it over is Brenchley. He was looking for a foul call. He couldn't get it. A turnover on the other end as American Fork turns it and gives it right back. Underneath, Johnson's there. Ridgeline leads 19-18. Nice look from Buckmiller on the assist. And here's Cuff, all alone, lays it up softly. Cuff took a heavy dribble like he was going to go in and throw down, and the defense came over and he just laid it in soft. 20-19 American Fork. 3-pointer on the way, short. Chase Hall, the smallest guy on the floor, trying to track that down, but American Fork comes up with it. Cuff into the lane, left hand. Won't go, follows it up. It's Franson, though, that gets it to go. Franson with 8. American Fork back out front by 3. Johnson. Using the screen. Salveson. Buckmiller looks in. Nobody's home. Hall gets inside, hands it off to Johnson. Double clutch, and he puts it home. Johnson with 6 points in the quarter. He's got 10 in the game. And it's 22-21 American Fork. Brown inside to Franson. Went out to Smith, and he misses the three, and Cuff's going to get rung up for foul number 2. Cuff went up over the back of Chase Hall. Hall had good position and kind of backed up into Cuff so that Cuff couldn't jump without contacting him, and that's a foul. Trey Stewart back into the ball game. For American Fork. Dolly into the game, and what do we got? An offensive foul on the handoff. Yeah, they're going to call a charge on Hall. They handed off to Hall, and Hall charged right into the defender who was standing there. And it's another turnover. Ridgeline with 7 turnovers, 2 for American Fork in a 1-point ball game. That's a big deal, and Coach Buckmiller is still asking about that call. You can see him down there at the bottom of your screen. Smith looks into Franson, doesn't give it to him. Now he tries for a better angle. Instead, he's going to keep it and take it himself. Stewart looks at the line, steps back, and misses the 3. Brenchley with the board. Ahead to Johnson. All the way to the rim and a foul. Flinders picks up his 2nd. Seven fouls on American Fork. Free throws the rest of the way for Ridgeline. Ridgeline has 4 infractions. Johnson's 0 from the free throw line. Actually 0 for the quarter. He's 0 for 2 this quarter. He hit the first 2 of the game. Then he's missed his last 2. He's got 10 points. Misses that one short. So a chance to give Ridgeline the lead. Goes by the wayside for Foster Johnson on the missed free throws. Franson on the low block. Turns left. Now Stewart out front against Chase Hall as American Fork works the perimeter. Down low looking for Stewart, sneaking in the backside. He loses control and finds Smith straight away. His 3 right down the barrel. McKay Smith with his first points of the game. Buckmiller to the rim. Oh boy, you know, Stewart went up and went over top of the rim to push that one away. As he scores on the other end, he hit the rim. I thought that should have been goaltending, but that kid can get out of the gym. 27-21 American Fork. Brenchley will go to the line.
McKay Smith is first.
8th team foul on American Fork as Brenchley had 6 points in the first period, hits the free throw. Baker into the game, and Johnson will sit, so somebody else is going to have to help with the scoring. As Johnson sits with 10 points. He's the game high scorer. A miss from the free throw line, but Brenchley picks up the rebound. Misses, gets it back, misses again, and he's in traffic and he has it knocked away. Stewart swatted away from the backside. Bodie Schoonover into the ball game. For American Fork. Baker looks in to Dolly, who kicks it back to Buckmiller. His 3 won't go, and it's rebounded by American Fork. Stewart out in front of the pack. Stewart glides in and misses. Rebounded by Baker. Baker across the timeline in a 5-point game. American Fork with the lead. Behind the back goes Brenchley, and he's shut off by that zone. He gets it back on the low block. And now swings the hook. There's Brenchley as he goes across the key left to right. Brenchley with 9. 27-24. American Fork. Stewart lines up a 3. Bang! Trey Stewart. putting on a show here in Providence tonight as he extends the lead to 6 for American Fork, 30-24. Stewart's got 11 points. Stewart with 11, Brenchley with 9 for Ridgeline, but Ridgeline being led by Foster Johnson with 10. American Fork's Hayden Franson has 8, Tanner Cuff has 8, McKay Smith was 3. Buckmiller's got 3 for Ridgeline, and Jackson Baker has a bucket, and that's it. 30-24, American Fork with the lead. You look at Region 4 that American Fork resides in, they're in a pretty tough region. Westlake's in that region. They're 11-0. Pleasant Grove is 11-2. Lone Peak's 9-4, and Bingham's 8-4. I mean, that is a nasty region. Region 4 in 6A. American Fork and Ridgeline, one thing to look at, common opponents. They played 2 common opponents, Layton and Fremont. Ridgeline lost to both of them. They lost to Layton by 8 and Fremont by 16. American Fork beat Layton by 23 and beat Fremont by 12. But again, they're playing without Oregon commit and 4-star prospect Isaac Johnson. Up, under, and missing is Brenchley, but a rebound foul will send Ridgeline to the free throw line. It's going to be Dolly that goes to the line.
Foul number 2 on
McKay Smith with a foul, and Dowley with his first appearance at the stripe. That's the 9th team foul. And Ridgeline having some trouble from the free throw line. This will be free throw number 10. They're 4 of 9. Now they're 4 of 10. In a 6-point game, they've missed 6 free throws. They're going to put a zone on American Fork now, with 3 out on that zone. Brown looks in to Franson. Stewart in the corner, 3 ball, good. Boy, he's heated up, and he's smoking hot right now. He's got 14. And it's a 9-point lead for American Fork. Brenchley works on Franson. Franson with the block, and we're going the other way. Brenchley hit the deck looking for the foul call. Franson tries to finish and does. Timeout, Ridgeline. 2 minutes ago, they were down by 3. They're now down by 11. Hayden Franson with 10 points, but it's Trey Stewart who's doing the damage. He's got 14. A couple of 3-pointers, a nasty dunk in traffic. And Trey Stewart, the senior, stepping up. Ridgeline at 5 and 5, and really they're the definition of a even Steven type of team. They're 5 and 5, and when you look at their scoring, they score 56.5 points a game. They give up 56.5 points a game, so there's no point spread there. American Fork scores 73 a game on average, gives up 61 on average, so they win by an average of 12 points. And Ridgeline, 3 of their 5 losses have been by a combined 7 points. They could easily be 8-2 with about 4 more buckets. Under 2 minutes to play in the half. Brenchley gives it off to Baker, now to Dolly. Dolly working on Schoonover, and Schoonover reaches in and takes it away, and a foul going the other way. Boy, and Coach Buckmiller's beside himself, and I see why. The player, Schoonover, is behind Dolly. He reaches all the way around his body and swipes down at the ball across Dolly's arms. the official's behind the play but can't see it. And you see that called all the time if somebody reaches from behind, but a lot of times it's the angle that the refs have. You know, they may not be able to see it as clearly as somebody sitting way up here like we are. Here's a three by Brown. Benson Brown. That's the fourth three-pointer of the quarter for American Fork. A big quarter, 20-point quarter for the Cavemen. Ridgeline's been outscored 20-9 and find themselves down by 14. Johnson back in the game. Brenchley can't find anything. They're playing that zone. As soon as he gets into the key, they collapse. And he's got nowhere to go. Turnover number 9. Baker hustling back, swats it away out of bounds, and stops the break. Hall, Buckmiller, Baker, Johnson, and Brenchley. As Stewart triggers into Brown, and he turns it over. Back to Johnson, left hand layup too hard. As Hall tried to feed him, Stewart to Schoonover. He waits for the defense to go by and they foul him. Are they going to call it on Buckmiller or are they going to call it on Brenchley? They're going to call it on Buckmiller. Caleb Buckmiller picks up the 6th team foul. Free throw up and no good by Schoonover. Schoonover, the junior guard. I don't think American Fork's hit a free throw yet. They've only shot 4. This is 4 right here. But they get the rebound off the miss, and American Fork then turns it over. All the way in goes Buckmiller, and an offensive foul called. Nope, they're going to say it's a defensive foul. It's a block. And Schoonover was just at the line. And Cuff and Stewart get off the bench. Ryan Cuff, the head coach for American Fork. Both teams having real issues at the free throw line. Buckmiller misses. He hit his first one. Ridgeline was 3 for 3 in the first quarter. They're 1 of 8 in this quarter from the free throw line. Now 2 of 9. Buckmiller's got 4. Adams into the ball game, and Buckmiller will take a seat. Seconds to play in the first half. A 13-point lead for American Fork. They've blown it open here in this second quarter. In fact, it was a 3-point game midway through the second. Now they lead by 13. Cuff going to work on Baker all the way to the rim as he goes behind his back with the dribble. And he's got 10. And a steal on the inbounds, just about a bucket at the buzzer. And a 15-point deficit for Ridgeline as we head to the locker room. 40-25, American Fork leading the Riverhawks. You're watching Game of the Week on the Valley Channel.
You're so adorable. I'm taking you home.
The world judges. We don't. Planet Fitness. Be free.
Starting to lose our hearing? Is it genetic? Is it environmental? What's happening to us?
There's many things. Genetics can take a part of it. Certain medications, ototoxic drugs, but most of it's just life, living in general. We go to a concert here, we go to a motorcycle motorcycle rally. We ride a motorcycle. We're exposed to all these loud sounds, loud music, but it all takes a little bit of hearing. A little bit here, a little bit there. We don't notice it. It's so slowly happening, and it's painless, and over time, just that little bit compounds, and pretty soon we have a significant hearing loss that's affecting our ability to communicate with our loved ones.
If you are experiencing any kind of problem, be you my age or be you younger, why don't you give Dr. Daines a call here at Cache Valley Hearing. Tell us where we are, Dr. Daines, and how they can get hold of you.
We're at 485 North Main Street in Logan, and you can just give us a call at 435-753-4327 or at 753-HEAR here.
Okay, well that's a good, that's very apt. Yeah, I should say so. Any kind of hearing loss, and literally, please don't let this feeling of embarrassment or it not being manly or cool, that's, you know, that's a bit dim. You shouldn't be embarrassed about something that is a natural aging process.
It's actually more noticeable when you don't hear and have to have people to repeat themselves.
That's true. And extremely irritating for those around you that are having to repeat it time and time again. Thanks so much, Dr. Daines. And seriously, guys, give Dr. Daines a call. Your hearing problems will be solved. Thanks, Dr. Daines.
Sports, and I've always participated in sports, and I've always played, and I think the best part about this job is being able to watch these athletes play, and it's part of my job just to sit there and watch these athletes succeed and play these wonderful sports. I always knew I wanted to work in medicine, and after playing many sports in high school and getting many injuries and having to come back from those injuries, I knew that I wanted to provide that same coverage and provide that same care to other student athletes, because sports is a key part of growing up. So I teach one class, and it's my exercise science sports medicine class, and it also gives the students some college credit, but mostly it gives me another setting to be with my athletes, and I can really get to know them off the field, and I can get to know their personalities. That way, when an injury does happen on the field, that I can better take care of them because they know me and they recognize me. You keep people on the court and you keep them on the field, and they're always playing, and I always wanted to be a part of that. I always wanted to be part of the team, and I always wanted to just participate and make sure that everybody who is healthy can stay out there playing a lot longer. So you never want to see anybody actually get hurt, but when it does happen, it's always good to be there, because then we can evaluate to see if it's actually going to be a game changer for them. And most of the time it's not. Most of the time it's just an injury, and then we can actually get them back into play a lot quicker had they just gotten hurt and sat out. And that's what's most important about having us athletic trainers there, is that we can really work on these injuries and get them out a lot faster had they just sat out. Cache Valley Hospital is a great company to work for. They provide so much support for their athletic trainers that it just makes working with these athletes such a breeze. If we ever have any questions, concerns about a certain athlete, we can just call on our support, and the hospital is very, very generous to us here at the school, and it's just a great company, and they help the community, and they care about these athletes as much as we do, and they don't see them every day, but they still care about them, and that makes it such a different dynamic to work with. My job is to prevent injuries from happening, but to also get the athletes back out on the field as quickly as possible after one happens, and that's what Cache Valley Hospital is all about.
family and my community, and so I think through being balanced and juggling all these things, it leads me to fulfill those wants and then be happier because of it.
In order to have a fulfilling and well-rounded life, you have to do a lot of different things.
She goes to her classes and she does her sports.
I don't really know how she does it. I mean, she goes to every day with just like a smile on her face.
I think everyone can have a drive, but it's the people that actually choose to feed this hunger are the people that stand out. Your hunger to win has to be bigger than anybody else's.
If she sets her mind to it, she's going to accomplish it, and I have no doubt about that. Whether it's she needs to drop 3 seconds on her time, she needs to get a better grade on her math test. Bill is just one of those people who, whenever I say you do anything, you always have this drive.
There's a drive there that comes from wanting to be everything that her mom set in motion in the first 13 years of her life.
My mom was one of my closest friends, so she had such an immense impact and influence on my life that when she died, my whole world was kind of turned around.
She was heartbroken, as you would imagine. She knew she had all these little ones looking to her. She was only 12 years old, but she became the person who was handling it.
I'm trying my best, I guess. It's been hard. She was such a big part of my life, but I'm doing the best I can.
She's a beautiful runner, and it's just amazing to watch her run.
She's a tremendous sister, tremendous daughter, caring soul, remarkably proud of Jillian.
Like, she has so much responsibility in her life. It's also amazing that she does it with such humility and grace.
When you lose your mom and your sister, you realize how precious every day is, and you want to make the most of every day. You sort of set high goals for yourself, and you sort of work to achieve them.
Sheer will and, I don't know, passion and, I don't know, but to get themselves there quicker than anybody else, to reach down deep, push through that pain, that both mental pain where you just want to stop, you want to give up, and that physical pain where your legs and your muscles are screaming, and just get yourself there.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital. Together, we're greater. Cache Valley Electric, a tradition of excellence since 1915. New Smile Dental, experience dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Bring back what you have been missing. Lynn's Audio and Video, Cache Valley Specialists. Mountain Valley Heating and Air Conditioning. Give us a call. You'll be glad you did. Herms Inn, last chance for great food. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Planet Fitness of Logan, no intimidation and only $10 a month. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 25 years.
Back at River Heights, we're near River Heights at Ridgeline High School, where the River Hawks trail American Fork 40-25. American Fork coming into this game 12-0 and showing why. They're playing well even without their all Mr. Everything Isaac Johnson. 6'11", four-star recruit is committed to play at Oregon, and he's not playing tonight with a leg injury. Suffered in their tournament they just came from down in Arizona over this last little weekend. They've been led by Trey Stewart, who has 14 points. Stewart, the senior, a couple of three-pointers, a nasty dunk in traffic, and a little bit of everything else. Hayden Franson and Tanner Cuff with 10 apiece. 3 for McKay Smith and 3 for Benson Brown off the bench. 4 three-pointers in that second period for American Fork as they broke open a three-point game. About midway through the second period, they went on a big run. Here's Cuff down low. Kicks it out to Smith. Step back three is short. Follows and picks up his own board. Cross court. Franson. Underneath, Smith found him. Franson has 12, and it's a 42-25 lead. Brenchley brings it across. He had 9 in the first half. American Fork's been playing that zone, and it's been causing trouble as Buckmiller cans the first 3 of the game for Ridgeline. 42-28. Foster Johnson, leading scorer for Ridgeline with 10. A nice move down underneath as Cuff spins baseline and scores. He's got 12. Cuff's got an interesting playing style. He's not in a hurry. He doesn't move real fast as he plays, as Baker hits a 3. But his spin is pretty quick. He spins quick, but it's really deceptive. Down low, Franson gets free, and he's fouled by Buckmiller. 44-31, American Fork, and Franson's going to go to the line. Buckmiller with his second. Franson at the free throw line for the first time tonight. That's the first made free throw for American Fork, but they've only shot 5. No, 4. They've only shot 4 free throws. Ridgeline shot a bunch more free throws, but they've had trouble putting the ball in the hoop from the line as well. Johnson hands off to Brenchley. Brenchley inside against the zone. He'll go to the line. Well, he's had trouble against that zone because he gets inside and they just all collapse on him. They're going to call it on Franson. For Franson, that's his first. Brenchley, 2 of 3 from the line now. He's in double figures with 10 points, averaging 23-8, so 24 a ball game. And he hits both free throws there. He's got 11. Johnson with 10 and him with 11 to pace the Riverhawks. 46-33. Elbow jumper by Moeaki, the freshman. Moeaki with his first bucket. Back out to a 15-point ball game. 48-33 American Fork. Buckmiller hands off to Johnson on the weave. He uses the Baker screen, then picks up the dribble and hands it back to Baker. Cuff knocks it down and then ends up in the front row. .540 to play in the third period, a 15-point American Fork lead. Trey Stewart's got 14 points to lead all scorers. Franson's got 14 along with him. Buckmiller in rhythm 3. It's short. It was right on line, but he left it short. Rebounded by Franson. Behind the back to the right hand. That's Cuff, and he handed it back to Franson. Don't look a thing alike. Cuff with the right hand and a reach-in foul out front. Going to call it on Johnson or Buckmiller. If it's on Buckmiller, it's his third, and he goes to the bench. Looking at Coach Buckmiller like, I didn't do it. Coach Buckmiller's his dad. The #1 rule with teenagers is if they tell you they didn't do it, they did it. Stewart, he was underneath the backboard, and he somehow reached back in and scoop that up and in. Brenchley, long 3 is good. Brenchley with his first 3-pointer. 14 for Landon Brenchley. And he gets tangled up with Franson down low. And he gets rung up. That'll be his second foul. Nobody in foul trouble for either team other than Buckmiller's got 3. In they go to Stewart. Stewart and one. Johnson picks up the foul, and he looks around. Who, me? That's his second. 18 now for Stewart. And Stewart makes the free throw. He's 1 of 3 from the line. He's got 19 points. And it's a 17-point lead. Up, under, miss for Brenchley. Out to Cuff. Cuff behind the back, left hand, lay it up and in. American Fork. They're just playing ball now. They're just having fun in the gym. Missed three. Here comes Stewart. Stewart has it knocked away and out of bounds, and it stays at this end. Stewart had just shifted into fourth gear, and he was going to throw down. He had a lane to the bucket. He was going to raise up and tear the roof off of this place. Here's Cuff, baseline, goes back in and turns it over. 5th turnover for the Cavemen. Playing a little too casual that time. Baker kicks it out. Adams into the ball game now. Brenchley back to Salveson, straight away three. Short, Johnson trying to fight for position for the board, but it bounds off the other way. McKay, Smith reaches back, throws it up, misses, and a rebound foul on Franson. Franson picks up his second. It's only the second team foul on American Fork. Under 3.5 now to play in the third quarter. American Fork leading 55-36. It's a 3-point game midway through the second period, and American Fork just blew this thing open. Adams, long three, got it. Spencer Adams hits the 4th three-pointer of this quarter for Ridgeline. They've hit 4 threes, and they haven't been able to cut into that lead. In fact, they're down 16. They were down 15 at the half. Stewart raises up, won't go, rebound. 2 Riverhawks there, and Baker comes up with it. Adams across the timeline to Brenchley. Brenchley drives baseline, up, under, score it. He's got 7 in the quarter. He's got 16 for the game. Landon Brenchley, the Utah State commit. Down low, they go to Cuff. Salveson's got his hands full. Cuff spins back in, softly off the glass and misses, and a rebound foul going the other way. Franson just picked up his 3rd. The official out near midcourt blew that whistle, and Franson didn't like it at all. Franson's going to have to sit, and Noah Vanschwijk comes into the ball game. 55-41 American Fork with 2 minutes to play in the third. Brenchley launches a 3, it's short. Rebound tracked down by Smith. McKay Smith gives it back to Cuff. Pull up for a 3. Rims out, rebounded by Brenchley. Brenchley tries to thread the needle to Johnson, and he turns it over. 10th turnover for Ridgeline. So Ridgeline with a couple of chances to cut into that 14-point lead, and they turn it over. Miss a shot and then turn it over. Moeaki has it poked away, gets it back. Rebound taken away by Foster Johnson. He went up high for that one. Johnson out to Adams. Quick 3. Short. Rebounded out of there by American Fork. Here comes Stewart. Stewart working on Baker. Stewart bumped and a foul called. Stewart initiated that contact and got himself a couple of free throws. if you can teach a kid to do that and a kid can master that, where they initiate the bump and they can get to the line, it just opens up their game. And Stewart did it like a master on that play. Brown and Flinders come in, and Smith and Cuff will sit. Franson sitting with foul problems. Vanchwick's in for Franson. Stewart hits them both. He's going to take a seat. And Downing in the ball game. We'll see. He's got 21 points. It's a 16-point lead for American Fork. And no starters on the floor now. Well, Moeaki, the only starter on the floor for American Fork. And a foul out front. 5 fouls on Ridgeline, and that's going to be 4 on American Fork. I didn't see who they called down on. It looked like they called it on Downing. Hall off the screen, the roll to Johnson, and he lays it in. 12 for Johnson on a textbook pick and roll. Wrenchley leads Ridgeline with 16. Trey Stewart with 21 to lead all scorers. Hayden Franson has 14. Tanner Cuff also has 14. Really, it's those 3 guys doing the damage for American Fork, but those 3 guys are really good. You add to 6'11" Isaac Johnson, who's out with an injury, who can shoot it from 3-point country as well as go inside, and you know, he's 6'11". You can see why this team is a heck of a ball club. Stewart near midcourt with 20 seconds left in the 3rd period. See if they try to run something where they get one of these guys at the rim, and Johnson goes for the foul, or goes for the steal and picks up the foul, his 3rd. He saw it, but you know what Stewart did is he stepped to the ball. So many young players will wait for the ball, and Stewart stepped to the ball as the pass was coming to him, and it shut off the lane that Foster Johnson had just a moment before. 9 seconds left. Stewart. Cross court to Smith. Back underneath, knocked out of bounds by Buckmiller. As they were looking for Cuff, and Buckmiller slid in there and knocked it away. 2.6. Here's the lob to Stewart, puts it up, misses, rebounded by Johnson. The 3/4 court heave is way off the mark, and the Riverhawks actually cut into that lead by a point, 57-43, as we go to the 4th quarter on the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel.
They would tell me something and I'd say, huh? And then they tell me again and I'd say, huh? And they'd say, never mind. And so I called and made an appointment.
Say the word pass.
He's a PhD, and I know what it takes to get a PhD.
Say the word red.
It was like night and day. And then the hearing test was the thing that I thought, wow, he really knows what he's doing. I would recommend Dr. Daines to anybody, everybody.
Back at Ridgeline High School, Eric Olson along with you as Ridgeline trails American Fork 57-43. They outscored American Fork 18-17. Therefore, and thus, winning the 1st quarter of the game. Yeah, American Fork had won the last 2 quarters. They led 18-15 at the end of one, and then led 40-25, winning that 2nd quarter 22-10. Trey Stewart leads all scorers with 21. Franson and Cuff have 14 apiece for American Fork. Brenchley leads Ridgeline with 16, 12 for Foster Johnson, 7 for Buckmiller. Brenchley brings it across the timeline. Adams drops it. Went right through his hands. And then he has to foul to stop the break. That's turnover number 11 for Ridgeline. And that's the penalty. Free throws the rest of the night for American Fork. The front end of the 1-and-1 is good by Moyaki. Noah Moyaki with 3 points. 5 for 5 in this second half from the line for American Fork. 6 for 6 after that last one, now 7 in a row. 7 of 11 from the free throw line for American Fork in the game. They lead 59-43. Hall in the corner. Brenchley missed it, a foul. Stewart still down. At 23. Coach Buckmiller's chewing the ear of one of the officials after a couple of his guys hit the deck hard at the other end and no whistle. Miller misses, or Stewart misses. Quickly the other way. Foster Johnson attacks. He'll go to the line. Trey Stewart's going to stay in. Now he's going to come out now. He came down on that ankle and turned it. And he's, I don't know, he's holding up at his lower calf. Johnson misses the free throw. So Stewart will sit, he's got 23 points. Johnson's second free throw is good. He's got 13. Averages 14 a game. Into Cuff as they just lob it over the head of Buckmiller. And the backside help was 5'9" Chase Hall. And he's not going to be able to do much against 6'6" Tanner Cuff. Brenchley right down the lane, 18 for Brenchley. 63-46. Cuff out to Brown, fires up a three, hits it, and he's fouled. Johnson jumped into him. 4-point play on the way. Benson Brown. 6 points, 2 3-pointers in this ball game. Now he's got 7. Johnson's got 4 fouls for Ridgeline. 21-point lead for American Fork with 6.5 to play. Adams scoops it up and under, won't go. Would have been a heck of a shot if he would have been able to get that one to drop under duress. A 10-3 run here to start this second half for American Fork. That's close to a 5-second call, and Ryan Cuff calls timeout for American Fork, and Trey Stewart's going to come back into the ball game. So he went out, gimpy on that ankle after he went up high on the lob and came down a little funny. Now he's going to come back in. American Fork has scored 10 points in this fourth quarter. We haven't even played 2 minutes. I do a lot of high school games where teams have trouble scoring 10 points the whole quarter. There's some serious basketball talent in the north end of Utah County and the south end of the Salt Lake Valley. Like serious basketball talent. Look around tonight, I've see a couple of ex-old Aggies here. Mike Johnson's here. Of course, Foster Johnson's his son. Mike played for the Aggies years ago. Jalen Moore is here as well, the former Utah State great. Played for the Bucks for a bit. Now he's working with his brother on some basketball ventures. 67-46 with just under 6 minutes to play. American Fork with the lead. Down low to McKay Smith. Lay it up and in. Smith kind of lulled his defender to sleep. In with a nice scissor cut. Went right down the middle and Stewart found him. Brenchley into traffic. Put it up. Shoot a free throw. 20 for Brenchley. Baker gets set to come back in the game. Baker, the 6'2" junior, replaces Buckmiller. Brenchley misses it short. Then he runs in to tie up Brown. The possession arrow favors AF. Probably should just call him American Fork. I know what I did. 5:29 to play in this ball game. 21-point lead for American Fork. Down low, Stewart. Elevate. Hit. Free throw. Johnson's done.
Hey, Stewart. Fouls Foster Johnson.
So Foster Johnson fouls out with 13 points. 5:18 to play. And Johnson will have a front row seat the rest of the night. Moriaki and Franson will check back in. McKay Smith and Cuff will sit down. Stewart with the bucket and the free throw. He's sitting at 26 points. Brenchley uses the screen. And who's got the foul? 2 whistles were blown. They call it on Franson. He's got 4. So Brenchley will go to the line. This one's kind of turned ragged here in the last minute and a half. Brenchley misses them both. He's missed 3 straight free throws. He's 3 of 7 on the night from the line. Franson, turn in and score. Aiden Franson's got 18.
Aiden Franson.
Averaging 11 a night. He's a senior, he's 6'6". 74-48. Brenchley with the rocker dribble, left hand layup good. 22 for Brenchley. 24-point lead for American Fork. It was a 14-point lead at the quarter. It was a 15-point lead at the half. It was 3 points after 1. The foul out front. And that's 2 free throws. Free throws for both teams the rest of the way. I didn't see who they called it on. But Stewart will go to the line and get to add to his 26 points. With a chance to add to his 26 points. He stepped in and filled the scoring void left by Isaac Johnson, out with the injury tonight, averaging almost 21 a game. Rebound by Brenchley after the 2 misses. Caden Cox is fouled, going to the bucket. He's not shooting, but it's 1-1 the rest of the way. It's free throws the rest of the way for both teams. Trey Stewart will come to the bench. I would imagine, I don't know, it's hard to say. He might be done for the night. As Cox hits the first free throw, his first point of the ball game. I thought that Stewart would be done as Cox misses the second after he tweaked his ankle. They had a big lead and maybe they'd just sit him down, but Coach Cuff is not going to sit these starters. He's got Tanner Cuff set to come back into the ball game along with McKay Smith. Moeaki, the freshman, looks to Brown, down into Franson. Another hook won't go. Franson's got an old school game. Baker, long 3, got it. Jackson Baker's got a 20-point lead for American Fork with 3.5 to play, 74-54. Out of bounds. American Fork with only their 6th turnover, unofficially. Adams back in, Dowley's back in. Brenchley's going to sit, and Buckmiller's going to sit. And maybe Coach Buckmiller says, all right, that's enough. Got to get these kids ready for region. They've played a tough non-region schedule. 3 of their 5 losses came by a combined 7 points. This is only their 3rd home game. They lost to Fremont by 4, Canyon View by 2 as Dowley fires up a 3 and it won't go. They lost to Box Elder by 1. Layton and Timpview handled them pretty well. Cuff, up and under. But 3 of the 5 losses have been competitive. This one's another one that, you know, American Forks handled them pretty well. They lost to Timpview 83-61, did Ridgeline. Then they beat Hillcrest and Hunter right before that. So they'd won 2 out of the last 3 coming into this. They've got Skyview next week. Hall will go to the line. Missed the front end. Dowley fights for the rebound. Possession arrow favors Ridgeline, but they say wrestling for the ball that the American Fork player landed on the sideline out of bounds. Caden Cox with the lob into Baker. Baker pulls his way in. Hall with the 3. Got it. Chase Hall with his first bucket. 76-57. 2.5 to play in the ball game. American Fork in control. Cuff with the 3. Won't go. Rebound tapped out. Right back to McKay Smith. Cuff down the lane. He's going to kick it out to Flinders for 3. Misses. Rebound put back by Brown. Benson Brown's come off the bench to score 9 points. A couple of big 3s. And a 4-point play with one of those 3s. Hall turns it over. Double-digit turnovers for Ridgeline tonight. Isaac Rudder and Bodie Schoonover getting set to check in for American Fork with 1:41 to play in the ball game. It's a 21-point lead for the Cavemen, 78-57. We mentioned that on the 11th we've got Mountain Crest at Logan. Well, a week week after that, on the 18th, we've got one of the kind of fun surprises of the year, Green Canyon, one of the top teams in 4A. They just got a couple of losses. They're at Skyview, so a battle of the brothers, big brother and little brother. And little brother's giving big brother some fits already, and it's only their second year. Then on the 25th of January, we'll have Skyview at Logan in the oldest rivalry in the valley. Ridgeline at Skyview on the 1st of February, Logan at Ridgeline on the 8th of February, Green Canyon at Mountain Crest on the 15th of February to round out the regular season. First round playoff games are at home, and stay tuned. We'll let you know if we have a first round. We'll be covering a first round playoff game. Baker out front. Adams opts against a three. He had it open for a moment. Dally from Baker underneath, and he rolls in and scores. Dally with his first bucket. 19-point edge for American Fork. 61 ticks on the clock. Rudder out front with it. Schoonover. Here comes Moeaki with it straight away. Brown. Back to Schoonover. Rudder fires up a three. Off the front of the iron. Chasing it down is Baker. Baker outruns Brown for it, and then Brown takes it away. Flinders is going to back it out. As Coach Cuff tells him to pull it back. So American Fork 5 points above their scoring average. Ridgeline 3 above theirs tonight, as this has been a game where the teams have gone up and down the court. And American Fork used a big second quarter to blow open a close game, and they win it 78-59. Trey Stewart with 26 points to lead the way, 22 for Landon Brenchley. We hope you enjoyed the game of the week on the Valley Channel. Next week, we're coming at you with Mountain Crest at Logan. We'll see you next time on the Valley Channel.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital. Together, we're greater. Cache Valley Electric, a tradition of excellence since 1915. New Smile Dental, experience dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Bring back what you have been missing. Lynn's Audio and Video, Cache Valley Specialists. Mountain Valley Heating and Air Conditioning. Give us a call. You'll be glad you did. Herms Inn, last chance for great food. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Planet Fitness of Logan, no intimidation and only $10 a month. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station, over 20